Hey, what's going on? It's Mando Crusader, and today we're playing some more Magic the Gathering online. This time we're going to be playing some Pioneer using this Rakdos Vampire deck, otherwise known as Madness Vampires. So this deck, if the name didn't give it away, is based around the madness mechanic. Basically, if you discard a card that has madness, it will instead exile, and you can cast it for the madness cost rather than its CMC, its combined mana cost. So we have a bunch of cards that take advantage of this. Our biggest one being, as you can see in the little preview window here down here, being Voldaren Pariah, or on the flip side, Abolisher of Bloodlines, big old 6/5. Usually it costs 3 and 2 black. However, if you discard it and cast it from Madness, it only costs 3 black. This is one of our big heavy hitters. It needs to sacrifice. You need to sacrifice 3 creatures to transform it. But once you do, it acts as a semi-board wipe, forcing your opponent to, in fact, sacrifice 3 creatures, along with being a 6/5 flyer. Other Madness cards we have are Bloodhall Priest, as well as Stormkirk Occultist and Fiery Temper. To add on to this, we additionally have the card Falconwraith Gorger, which gives every vampire in our deck madness equal to their combined mana cost. So all the other vampires in our deck, Insolent Neonate, Heir of Falconwraith, Stormkirk Condemned, Olivia Mobilized for War, they all have madness attached to them. But what good is the madness cost if you can't discard cards? And to that end, we have lots and lots of ways to discard cards. For instance, we have Lightning Axe as part of our removal suite. Deals 5 damage to a creature, costs either 6 colorless and a red, or a red and discard a card. We have Thrill of Possibility, discard a card to draw 2 cards. Really good stuff. We have Heir of Falconwraith, which requires you to discard a card to transform into Heir to the Night. And Stormkirk Condemned, discard a card. Vampires you control get 1/1 until the end of turn. And I almost forgot, Insolent Neonate. Discard a card, sacrifice Insolent Neonate, draw a card. So you have lots of ways to discard cards. We have lots of ways to... we have lots of cards that take advantage of discarding cards. And to top it all off, we have someone you may recognize from the first video I ever made on this channel, Sorin Imperious Bloodlord. Our Planeswalker, we run 2 of them in our deck. Target creature you control gains Death Touch and Lifelink to the end of turn. It's a vampire, put a 1/1 counter on it. You may sacrifice a vampire. When you do, Sorin Imperious Bloodlord deals 3 damage to any target and you gain 3 life. Or, for -3, both of those are +1. For -3, you may put a vampire creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. So, this acts as not only a really great way to increase our damage output, or in conjunction with something like Call the Bloodline, it allows us to have like 3 damage on the go whenever we need it. Or if push comes to shove, it's another way to cheat out something like Voldaren Pariah or Bloodhall Priest a few turns early and for free. Finally, we have a couple of miscellaneous enchantments here. We have Call the Bloodline, 1 mana, discard a card, create a 1/1 black vampire knight creature token with lifelink, activate only once each turn, and a single one-off copy of Stensia Masquerade, Attacking creatures you control have first strike. Whenever a vampire you control deals combat damage to a player, put a 1/1 counter on it. And even this has madness as well. Our mana base is nothing special. It's typical Rakdos fare. 4 swamps, 3 mountains, 3 copies of Smoldering Marsh, 4 Foreboding Ruins, 3 Dragon Skull Summit, 2 Canyon Sloughs, and 3 Bloodfell Caves. And our sideboard isn't that interesting either, really. 2 copies of Dark Betrayal for if we need unconditional black removal. 3 copies of Duress for when we need discarding. 2 Asylum Visitors for extra card draw. 2 Noxious Grasp for green or white matchups, a one-off Alms of the Vein, just in case we should ever need that, 3 copies of Dervel Rogue Shadow Mage for, again, just extra discarding, taking advantage of discarding, and finally, 2 copies of Tormald's Crypt for some of that sweet, sweet graveyard hate. Additionally, this entire package cost about $6.50. So, like I said last time, Magic Online it costs money, real money to buy cards. This entire deck package that you see here only costs $6.50. And like $4 or $5 of that is solely wrapped up in the 2 copies of Sorin Imperious Bloodlord rerun. That happened last time too. In the 2 copies of Sorin Imperious Bloodlord rerun. So this is not an expensive deck at all. Sometimes you can even find some of the commons or uncommons from the free trade bots in the trade section. I know that's how I found all my copies of Heir of Falconwraith. I didn't buy any of these. So yeah, with all that being said, let's get into some games and see how it does. Alright, here we are. Game 1, and it looks like we are on the draw. Are we on the draw? I would assume. Why wouldn't you take that? Yep. And they are running Lurrus. I think we may actually take a mulligan here. Maybe? Yeah, I think we need to take a mulligan. 2 lands. You know what? Let's take a risk here. I really don't want to mulligan again. Let's get rid of Stentia Masquerade and see what our opponent has for us. Playing a Blood Crypt. Looks like we have a Rakdos match here. And we draw a Lightning Axe. That is what I like to see. That is what I like to see. And we have a mountain next turn. Blightstep Pathway. Oh, Arcanist! I run this deck in MTGO. You love to see it. You love to see Arcanist. Throw out Mountain, and we're going to tap for 2, and throw out Heir of Falconwraith. Heir of Falcon Wrath. And we're going to hope it doesn't die, because if it doesn't, we can maybe, if it doesn't die, and we draw a land next turn, and a land that doesn't need to come in tapped, we can transform Heir of Falconwraith, I'm just gonna say Falcon Wraith, and you can't stop me. The Heir of Falcon Wraith, we can discard a card, transform her into the Heir of the Night, and then Madness out Bloodhall Priest. So there's the Stitcher's Supplier. And it looks like they didn't get any hits for Dreadhorde Arcanist. Just land and a Young Pyromancer. They are going to claim the Young Pyromancer, though. Like, I know how all of this works. I know exactly what makes Dreadhorde Arcanist tick. And please draw land. We do not draw. We do not draw our land. That is unfortunate. I think we have... I don't want to discard here. But I think we're going to discard our second Heir of Falcon Wraith. And... try to draw land. Somehow we don't. We just draw another Heir of Falcon Wraith. This is tricky. We need our third land drop. And they Village Rights the Stitcher's Supplier. Pretty cool art, too. Though I prefer the Strixhaven art myself. And they did hit Blood Chief's Thirst, so Heir of Falcon Wraith is dead next turn. And it looks like they found another Young Pyromancer from the Village Rights. Another Stitcher's Supplier. Yeah, they're off to the races now. I wonder if instead they're going to choose to... No, it's fatal. No, they're fatal pushing Heir. They are fatal pushing Heir. I assume they're going to Village Rights the Stitcher Supplier? Yeah. I know exactly what makes this deck tick, believe me. See, they're getting very, very lucky that we aren't hitting any of our land drops. Very, very lucky. And there's our third land drop. Unfortunately, it comes in tapped. Oh dear. Alright. I suppose we'll throw out Insolent Neonate and hope it doesn't die. What I'm hoping here is that this card, it's a tiny 1/1 that I'm not going to block with. My hope here is that they do not kill it with the Fatal Push or Blood Chief's Thirst in their graveyard. Instead, they do something like Village Rights the Stitcher's Supplier. And in doing that, they let me keep it out for one turn, in which case I can discard a card, draw a card, sacrifice Insolent Neonate, and bring in Bloodhall Priest. And nope, they're fatal pushing it. Alright, I think that's game. I think that is game. They were just able to go off and we not hitting our land drops absolutely slaughtered us. We got absolutely slaughtered. It took us going through the first, 12 cards of our deck to find 3 lands? Yeah, that's a concede. That is a concede. So, sideboarding. I think the most obvious thing to bring in is Tormald's Crypt. So we can deal with that graveyard. Failing that... I suppose Dark Betrayal, maybe? The question is what to cut for it. Because we had our plays, we just didn't have our land. Let's see. I think taking out an heir would be fine. As well as a Gorger. I said a Gorger. Honestly, I don't think we really need to take anything else. The only black card really they have in their deck is Stitcher's Supplier, and killing that wouldn't do anything. And we couldn't kill Kroxa with it because Kroxa is also a red creature as well. So I don't think Dark Betrayal would do anything for us. Duress wouldn't do anything because they want cards in their graveyard. Honestly, I don't think any of our cards dealing with discarding would help us here. I think the only thing we can do is put in Tormod's Crypt and hope for the best. Hope we hit our land. Actually, not even hope for the best. Just hope we hit our land drops. We won the dice roll. I would like to play first. Thank you very much. We hit our land drops. We did indeed hit our land drops. Unfortunately, they're all tap lands. And there's no discard outlets, but I don't think we can afford to do anything else. Let's see this. Does he have a little bit of a slower start? Our opponent did take a mulligan. Throw out Bloodfell Caves. And next turn, we'll bring out Gorger. And we have Seer Step. And pass the turn. I guess put our second Bloodfell Caves. It all comes in tapped anyway, so we may as well gain that health in the beginning. Throw out Falcon Wrath Gorger. And give all of our vampires that didn't already have Madness, give them all Madness. Well, actually, they don't have Madness because turn 1 Magma Spray. Alright. Arcanist? No! Kroxa. Kroxa. What do we want? Let's discard Masquerade. We cannot cast it. That is fine. They have Kroxa in the graveyard now. They're running a little short on cards in their hand, which can only be good for us. Still no basic lands, still no discard. I'm getting a little worried. A second Kroxa. Looks like they may not be hitting their land drops either. We definitely can't discard Saurian. You know what? I'm gonna take the hit, and I'm gonna discard Dragon Skull Summit. And next turn, oh, there's our swamp. We're putting out Sorin, and we are going to put out our Voldaran Pariah. Looks like they may have finally hit their third land drop. Third Kroxa. Incredible. Open hand 3 Kroxas. That is... I am shocked. I am actually shocked. Now, the good thing about our Voldaran Pariah is that it is actually immune to Fatal Push. Tap 2, throw out our Stormkirk Condemned. Buff our Pariah. And deal 4. And heal 4, so that takes us up to not back up, but up to 23, dealing with that hit we took from discarding Dragon Skull Summit. And now we're a 4/4. Fatal pushes the Stormkirk Condemned. I'm pretty sure they don't have enough kicked Blood Chief's Thirst. I don't believe it. What a top deck. And Fiery Temper. Alright. Well, we can't play anything. If they throw out one of their cheaper spells, well, they can't. Oh, what they're going to do is they're going to throw out Kroxa. They have enough to put one of their Kroxas on the field now. And here it comes. I don't believe how absolutely lucky they were. 3 Kroxas. Well, we may as well Fiery Temper our opponent to the face. And I think we've lost. I honestly can't believe it. I still cannot believe 3 Kroxas in their opening hand. Or they just drew 3 Kroxas, and now they're dealing 9 damage a turn. I honestly can't believe it. Well, there's our Tormald's Crypt, I suppose. We will call the Bloodline. And hope we can block... Nope, Fatal Push. Yeah, that's GG. We can't beat this. We can't beat 3 Croxes. 3 Croxes in a row. So lucky. So lucky. Alright. Let's see here. We are on the draw. And they do play first. Smoldering Marsh and Bloodfell Caves. We're gonna keep this hand. And they are mulliganing. They've mulliganed down to 5 cards. Choked Estuary. And passes. 2 of our Voldaren Pariahs are in our hand. Swamp. Sign in Blood. Alright. Smoldering Marsh. We'll get out our Neonate. And if we get a basic land or our Dragon Skull Summit, we can get out one of our big boys here. We do not get that. That is unfortunate. Well, in that case, let's bring out Heir of Falkenrath. Ultimate price. Alright. That is absolutely fine. At this point, we just need a land, really. Alright, cremate, that's fine. We don't have any graveyard recursion anyway, so that was a bit of a waste for them. Foretelling something. Poison the cup, perhaps? And my goodness, we're okay. Still no land. 49 cards in, only 2 land. Let's madness out our Stormcloak Cultist. And draw a card. Canyon Slough. Not ideal. Not ideal at all. Cast down, of course. Looks like we're playing Dimir Control, perhaps? Vengeful Reaper. Okay. Alright. Well. They only have 2 cards left in their hand, so maybe they don't have another removal. If they don't, next turn we can transform Heir of Falkenrath and bring out one of our Voldaran Pariahs. We can do a little chump damage like this. Madness out our Voldaran Pariah. And kill the Era Falcon Wraith. Okay. How did they do that? Wait, what? Oh, targets, okay. Well, do they have any? No? Okay. So, Heir to the Night is out, at the very least. We are going to get one hit in with that? We are. Okay, they're down to 13. Not. They're gonna be blocking that. Got it. Okay. Let's make some plays here. Let's put out Call the Bloodline. And Insolent Neonate. And we are not going to be attacking with Heir to the Night. And in fact, there's our third Voldaran Pariah. In fact, next turn, what we can do is Fiery Temper our Vengeful Reaper. So we're going to Insolent Neonate our Fiery Temper. Do they have another Unsubstantiate is the question. They do, okay. Nope, this Dispel this time. We are definitely facing Dimir Control. Well, do they have another? Do they have another? They do. Dissolve. And they get to scry. We do get a 1/1 Black Vampire Knight, though. And should we get Voldaran Pariah out, we will be able to, with three more of these. Okay. There goes Heir of the Night. Okay, Dragon Skull Summit. That is exactly what we needed right now. That is literally exactly what we needed. So, we are going to call the Bloodline. Madness out Bloodhall Priest. Do they have... They don't! Okay. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. Now we are getting somewhere. Okay. They're running out of counter spells. They have two cards in their hand. They didn't counter Bloodhall Priest, so I'm assuming they aren't counter spells. And if they're not, then boy, do we have a play this turn. Madness Voldaran Pariah. Put it onto the field. Create the Vampire Knight. And then sacrifice 3 Vampire Knights. Transform Voldaran Pariah. Abolisher of Bloodlines, the Vengeful Reaper. Oh yeah, it's all coming together. Attack with the Bloodhall Priest. Four damage. Our opponent's down to 9. We have lethal next turn if they don't do anything. They can't Fatal Push it. Languish. Kill the Bloodhall Priest. That's honestly perfectly fine. And that's a game 1 win right there. That's the power of Abolisher of Bloodlines. And that's such a cool, this is completely aesthetical, but oh, our opponent just left the game. Our opponent just left the game. You can see right down here in the chat, our opponent has left the game. All right. GG. All right. So that was Madness Vampires. It's a really, really fun deck to play. It can win very easily, as we saw against that Dimir Control matchup. Once it gets going, it really gets going, and you can't really, well, you can stop it with board wipes, but it really gets going. This video only showed me winning once because but really, if we didn't have such weird mana in that first game, we probably would have won there as well. So, but that's about it. Thank you all for watching. If you comment, like, subscribe, tell me what other decks you'd like to see me play, either in MTGO or MTGA, any other games you'd like me to see play. You'd like to see me play, I should say. Yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.